Hey guys, Derek here with Papavilletrains. Been away for a few weeks. Just decided to take a little time off. I had to take care of a few things around the house, and you know how life gets sometimes. So hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And today was the December Wheaton train show, Great Midwest Train Show. So I'm going to tell you about it, show you some things that I picked up, and while I was there, because even though I do sell, I always pick something up. So come on along. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking about the Wheaton Train Show today. I'm going to show you some of the items that I picked up. First off, I got up this morning, looked outside, and thought, oh crap, it's going to be a bad show. There was a good fresh 6 inches of snow on the ground. So before I could even leave my house, I had to go out there and clean, take care of all the snow shoveling and all that stuff. So I ended up getting there. Normally I try to, the doors open at 9. Normally I try to get there at least by 7 o'clock to get everything set up. I didn't get there until a little bit after 8. Even a half an hour after the doors open, I was still setting stuff up. It was a little chaotic. Like I said, I was not expecting a good turnout. Fortunately, it stopped snowing at about maybe 7:30 in the morning, and that was a pretty decent turnout. And people were there to buy, which was fantastic for me. I really enjoyed it. Met a lot of fantastic people. Um, took a picture with. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, Penn Central. I always mess it up. Is it 8585, 8555? Um, I'll put it up here correctly. And Damien and his girlfriend Ellie, and he always comes with his grandfather. Great guy. We always sit and chat for a while. Um, and here's a picture of us together. And that big old box that Damien's got, he'll be reviewing that on his channel. It was something that he's been wanting to get for a long time, and it was a specific one that he wanted because there's different versions of it. So definitely, you want to check that out. I would imagine he's probably going to have that posted if not this weekend, next weekend. But usually he does post within about 24 hours of the Wheaton Train Show because he posts about it almost every time. And what else? What else? What else? Like I said, the turnout ended up being pretty good. What really surprised me, normally at about, I don't know, it runs until 3. At about 1 o'clock, it starts really slowing down. Not this time. I mean, there was still people coming in the door. I don't know what the actual turnout number was, but um, I'm not, and here again, I'm not sure about some of the other vendors, but the guy next to me, Greg Hake Auctions. I know that he did pretty good because pretty much, you know, a lot of his stuff was gone. Although he wheels and deals, and you know, he gives out really good prices on the stuff that he does sell at the show. And a few of the other vendors in the area, I know they did pretty good. All in all, like I say, it was a good show. A lot of fun people there. I sold a bunch of actual full sets. There was one I had an El Capitan set that I Santa Fe El Capitan that I sold to a gentleman he was going to give to his grandson. So it was nice to see that was going to a good place. So let's get to it of the stuff that I picked up. The few of these items were that I'm going to show you. I actually got those over about 3 weeks ago through the Traintown auction. Uh, Greg, who has a booth next to mine, lives in the St. Louis area, so he saw that I had won some of these items on that auction, and he's like, "Hey, I'll just pick them up and bring them up to you at the show." The funny part about it is I kind of forgot about it, and I even more so, I forgot about the items that I actually purchased, and so it was kind of fun to open up that box and take a look. So we're going to show you some of the stuff now. So the first thing I want to show you was actually kind of cool. A guy just came over and said, "Hey, you want this?" So this is a page out of the Saturday Evening Post, and it's an Ives train ad. We'll zoom in on this so you can see it. Hopefully there's not too much reflection on it, but it's actually pretty neat. Ives make happy boys, trains and accessories, and it has a little thing that you would cut out. What does it say? It says that you cut this out and you mail it in to Ives Manufacturing Corporation in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it says, "Gentlemen, I would like to know how to build an Ives model transportation system." And then it goes on. It says how um, uh, uh, they're asking. It says it's a 23-page booklet with 13 pages in full color that they would send to these to the kids. That's kind of cool. Um, and they got a picture of one of the sets. For those of you that aren't aware, Ives was eventually bought out by Lionel. In like I think it was in the teens or the 20s. I don't know the exact year. Um, I can, I'll look it up and I'll put it up here because I like to give you guys a little bit of cool information. But yeah, so this is kind of neat. And what's interesting, um, I haven't taken it out of here, but I do want to take it out because there is print on the back because this is page number 143. I don't know, I have to see a date or anything. But it's definitely old, and like I say, this is out of the Saturday Evening Post, and the guy just gave it. Said, "Here, you want it?" And so I might even frame this, and we'll find a place on the wall to put it somewhere. What else we got? Okay, so this just kind of got thrown in. I bought these from Menards, and the ones from Menards really suck. They don't work very well. I don't know about this one. It says "Old Train Whistle, Made in America." Wow, that one works nice. Cool. Do I hide this when the grandkids come over? Because otherwise, that's all we'll be hearing. I'm gonna just put that over there. And then, well, it was inside this. There's a 6462 New York Central gondola. It's in pretty nice shape. Got a little weight to it, which is nice. A little rust on the bottom here on the trucks. But aside from that, the wheels are turning nice and the couplers look okay. It does have both of the brake wheels here and here, so that's a nice little piece. Here we have a Sunoco. This is also a post-war from Lionel. Oh, we got a number on this one. Yeah, I don't know the number off the top of my head on this one, to be honest with you, but it's a dual domed Sunoco tank car. Nice. I mean, not great condition. Probably could be cleaned up. The trucks on these ones are a little bit better. So this is a 6465. It's stamped on the bottom here. We have a 6257. These are probably, my guess would probably be, these all came out of a same set. And this one does look complete. It does have the brake wheel and the brake wheel. Some of the On this side, some of the lettering is worn off a little bit. It's a little bit better on this side, but that's a nice caboose. Any more loose pieces in here? Yep, we got another one here. We got a Lehigh hopper. This is a 25,000 is the number that's printed on it. I think this was early 40 or late 40s on this one. And here again, we do have the brake wheel on this side. I don't know if there was a brake wheel on this back side. It's in fairly decent condition, and I'm actually kind of seeing these for the first time. All I did was take it out of the main box and put it into this bin real fast as I was packing everything up. The trucks on this one are in pretty decent shape. And that's it as far as those loose pieces. Oh, wooden barrels. Okay, so let's get this off to the side. So now we have some boxed items. So this I actually purchased off a guy who was just walking around, and he's like, "Hey, you buy stuff? I got this." And so this is an actual scale-sized banjo signal. It's a number 6-14149, and hopefully it works. I haven't tested it, so it's the wigwag. It's got the wigwag, the banjo style. It's also got a 153C connector that comes in the box with it. And this will also work with an insulated track section. So, and it seems as though it's in nice condition. My plan with this guy is not necessarily putting it on the layout over here, but using it for one of the little walkway crossings for the kiddie ride train in the amusement park. I thought that would look pretty cool. Okay, what else we got here? So this is a Union Pacific 9383, and it's got two of the trailers on the back of it. I'm not going to take this stuff out of the boxes because I want to kind of whip. So it's the Union Pacific Famous American Railroad piggyback flat car with vans, 6-9383. I'm going to do these two last out of this box. So the next item that we have here, this is a Philadelphia Quartz 8,000 gallon tank car. It's got hidden uncoupling tabs, separately applied metal details, die-cast metal sprung trucks. So this is actually, it's got an original price tag on it of $54.99. It's a 6-17948. 6-17948. And this is from, I believe this came out in 2004. It's a nice looking piece. Next we have another tank car. This is a Goodyear tank car. This is a Goodyear single dome tank car, 6-19604. It's got a little bit of heft to it. It's got a handwritten price tag on here of $34. And this was $19.91 on this guy. So next up we've got another set of trailers, and these might end up being in the personal collection. So this is a Chicago and Northwestern piggyback flat car with vans, 6-9352. And for those of you guys that watch my videos a lot, and you know that I'm kind of partial to Chicago Northwestern, so I got a feeling these are going to end up in the personal collection. It's got an original price where somebody was selling this for 60 bucks. I did not pay $60 for it. And the last piece, and it's funny because of all these items, this is one I remembered seeing it at the auction, but I forgot that I purchased it. This came out in 2002, and this is the Elvis All Shook Up boxcar, and it's a number 6-39258. So you got the Elvis writing all shook up over on this side. It's a fun piece. I liked it a lot. The box is in really nice shape. Yeah, that'll probably get turned over to somebody else. I like Elvis, but I'm not like oh my God, Elvis. So, okay, I'll put these guys back in this box. Yeah, I like these piggybacks with the vans on them. They're kind of cool. I have a nice mail car in the other room, and I've got three or four of the Burlington Northern, rail cars as part of my big long Burlington Northern set. So these next two items, and we'll actually be showing you these at the end of the video. The next two items, a gentleman came up and said, hey, do you do trades? And I said, well, I don't know, He says, well, listen, it'll definitely be to your advantage. He says, I've got a couple of things here. First, he showed me the first one, and I said, well, what are you interested in? And he pointed to some box cars that I had, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So what I got here, this is a Pennsylvania diesel switcher. We'll read it from the side. So this is a Pennsylvania diesel switcher. It's got the operating headlight, illuminated marker lights, Polmar motors, forward, neutral, reverse, self-centering couplers, die-cast metals and trucks. It's 6-8471. This has an original, wow. So I'm in this, obviously for most of you guys, you know, I'm in the Chicago area. This has an original price tag from America's Best Train and Hobby, which is right down the street, about like really, really close. I can get there in 3 minutes. Basically 200 bucks, 199.99, and then it was on sale for 159.99. So it's like I say, it's a diesel switcher. We will take this out of the box at the end of the video, and we'll put it on the track for you guys to take a close look at. Fingers crossed that it's running and everything. Yeah, when he said this will be to your advantage, he wasn't kidding. So the next item here, he went to one of the other vendors and asked him if he wanted to trade. And the other vendor told him, well, I don't really deal in that particular, this vendor sells mostly older stuff. He's like, I don't really deal in that stuff. And that vendor had one of the little tiny switchers. Man, let me grab something here and I'll show you real quick. So he had a switcher that's similar to this, and I honestly don't remember what like the road name on it. One of the difference was it had the snowplow on the front of it, and but like I say, the other vendor wasn't, you know, said no, I don't really do trades, and so he came back to me, and he said, well, would you be willing to trade for this one? And I said, well, I don't know. He says, and then he started telling me about how he went to the other guy. And I said, well, hold on. Let's see if we can work out a deal here. So I went over to the other vendor and I said, you know, well, how much do you have on that? And he told me. I said, well, what's your best price? And he gave me a very fair price that was still good for him, but it was good for me. So I bought that off of him and then traded for, let's get this out of the way. And then I traded that switcher, the snowplow switcher, for the item that I have in this box. So in this box, this beautiful orange box, I ended up getting a Chicago Northwestern GP38 diesel number 1899. It's AC transfer control, directional headlights, rail sound. It's got rail sounds with battery backup, and the number on this one is 6-81665. So we'll be putting this guy, taking this out of the box and putting this one on the track a little bit later. So I'm going to take a very short break. If you want to hit pause and go get yourself something to drink or got to go to the bathroom or something, and then I'm going to show you the crazy thing that I bought. I don't know why, but it was that one. It's one of those. Sometimes you see something that's at a price, and it's like, why wouldn't I buy this? And then you get it home and you're like, what do I got to do with all this stuff? All right, so let's take a quick break. Okay, had to clear out a little space because well, I'll show you. So I got this. So in here, okay, first off, well, I'll tell you later what I paid for this, okay? But let's, I don't know if it opens from, I think it opens from this side. So what do we got here is, well, I'm trying to figure out a way I can show you all this stuff. That's garbage. Actually, this is a flyer. In Lyle, Illinois, they're going to do their train show that they do at the Park District. This one's going to be on January 10th. I'll be talking about this one a little bit later in an upcoming video. It's one of those, it's a nice show. It's free admission. Okay, let's see if I can kind of tilt this box. I'm going to dig through it, but I just want to give you an idea of what's in this box. So look at all this stuff. It is filled with O gauge and standard gauge shells and chassis, and nothing is complete. There's American Flyer, there's Lionel, there's a little bit of everything in this thing. I'm just going to randomly go through some of this stuff, pull out some of this stuff, and give you examples of the kind of wild stuff that's in here. As soon as I should have probably set all this up when I was taking that little short break, huh? But okay, to give you some examples, we got a nice standard gauge frame for something. Here's I wonder if I can tell what this is. This is an O gauge. This looks like it might be a 600 series, but it doesn't have any trucks. Now, in any of this, guys, if you're a standard gauge or if you're an O gauge guy, then because almost everything in here is basically pre-war, and if you see a part that you want, just hit me up. All you got to do is pay shipping. I'll send it to you because that's how much of this stuff it is. We got some. Here's a part of an observation car that's a standard gauge. I really wish some of these I could figure out any kind of numbers on them, but I don't see any numbers. But like I say, it's what's left of an observation car. There's a couple of these in here. These are, I think, maybe 2400s or something like that. But like I say, this is just tons of parts. Roofs. Maybe that's a roof for that. Who knows? Here's a part of an American Flyer passenger car. I actually had somebody ask me already for this particular roof. Here we got a nice little roof. I'll bet you this is off of like a 609. We got these are some really old frames for some old trucks. Here we have an Ives 3241, about 2/3 of the shell of a standard gauge Ives. It's a 3241. So if you get somebody out there needs that. What do we got here? Huh. I don't know. Because it's like miniature? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Here's a American Flyer. This is part of a, I'm thinking maybe this is part of a Zephyr. I'm going to bring out tons of stuff fast. This one is in really nice shape. Has the original sticker on the bottom. I believe this is American Flyer. Look at that. That thing's in really, really, really nice shape. It doesn't look like it's been repainted. Wow. That thing's really nice. Like I say, a lot of this is parts. So here's another piece to this. I don't know if I'm putting this stuff. Let's bring a little more light. There we go. Here we got there's some kind of writing. It says observation in big letters. This is one of the little bit more complete pieces because you do have all your trucks on there. Those are really, really old trucks. If I had a minute, I would look them up in one of my books because I've got a book that tells you of all the different types of standard gauge trucks. But this one does have the lighting in it. You got the pickup on it. And got a feeling it's been repainted. Somebody did a terrible job. There's another one of those roofs. No, that's too big for that. Here's another roof piece of some type. This is a platform. But that's still standard gauge. There's tons of all kinds of pieces. Roofs, more roofs, more roofs. A couple of matching ones. Who knows if the rest of it's in here. And this goes on, but some of this stuff is ancient. So here we have it says, oh, this is kind of cool. So here's another one of these. So we'll see if we can zoom in on this. So right here, on this door it says first, so my guess is first class. But on the two back doors it says third, for my guess is third class. That's some old stuff there. That's really old. Here's what's left of a 604 observation car. This was in the maroon color. So if you need some parts for a 604, you got the rusty but complete trucks, I believe. What do we got here? We got a Santa Fe. I'm not sure on this one. I know some of you guys are more versed in standard gauge than I am, but there's a nice shell. There's another standard gauge shell. This one's all in primer. That's similar to this one. So I wonder if that's also an Ives. It looks almost the same. All the here's a Pullman, a number 600 Pullman. Oh, that one's shorter. It's got the number. There's a 6896. It's missing the trucks on it, but you know, like I say, guys, if you need some parts, here we got a couple of matchers. This is a 607, two 607s. Don't have roofs on them. I wouldn't be surprised if there's roofs in here somewhere, but no trucks. But it's you do have the window inserts for them. Here's another standard gauge. This is the same as this one. Yeah, identical. Yep, there's another 607. This one does have the roof. Where did I put the other two? Got a couple of really long roof pieces here. Here's a nice, got a bunch of these green roofs. Well, this one's a little bit bigger. I will, at one point, I will probably really take my time and look at all this stuff. Well, here you just have, this looks like this is maybe off. Yeah, this is off of a number 8, standard gauge number 8. This is two pieces of the body, or not pieces, but one section of the body. I don't know what this one is off of. There's another roof. Here, this is well, this is nice. This is an all metal, aluminum passenger chassis. Hey, will you look at this? We got something that's completely intact. This is an American Flyer. 3016. And I'm looking at my American Flyer stuff over there. I don't have this one. We're going to put this guy off to the side. That's going to go with my... Here we have a Lionel 1677 gondola. This is just missing one set of wheels here, and it's missing the coupler on this side, but it does have the old latch style coupler there. It had an original $10 price tag on it. And here's some other, got a bunch of these roofs. Lots and lots of roofs. Here we go. Wow, I actually have this American Flyer post office car. I actually have this as a set. Here's another American Flyer. This one actually has a pickup on it. So, I mean, this is simply good for if you need a pickup for an American Flyer. I mean, you know, I mean, that's the great part about it is it's the parts that are in this stuff. If you need trucks or something. Here we got a a 1680 Sunoco that is completely intact. That's not bad. What do we got here? Oh wow, this one's kind of different. I wonder if this is with scratch built or something, because look, they've got actual pieces of wood in the bottoming here. Look at that. That's kind of interesting. And we got another standard gauge. A very, very rough piece of standard gauge, but this is a baggage car. This piece I know is an American Flyer. I have one of these. We've got a set of trucks, but this is American Flyer. I mean, it's so obviously we're missing wheels. This end, the coupler is broken. We don't have a roof on it, but if you need like the little ladders, those are there. Badges, if you need badges. It's got the working doors on it if you need doors. Okay, so this one's actually kind of nice, in nice condition. I don't know what it's for. Yeah, I don't know what it's for, but it's standard gauge, or standard might be wide gauge if it's a. So this is, I think this is also. No, this is not a number 8. Don't see any numbering on it, but it's a shell for, you know, an electric style. What do we got in here? So this bag has tons of, what's it say on it? But there's doors, and these are all pieces to one particular. It's got a front end and doors. That's all standard gauge pieces. Here we just have the bottom half of a chassis with some trucks that are in very nice condition. Look at these guys. Those trucks are in really good condition. You know what? And I can tell you, this is an American Flyer, and this is from 1935. That was the only year that they used this type of coupler, that little weird coupler right there. And I sold somebody my American Flyer set from that year. If you're watching this video, and you see me at the next show, let me know and I'll give you this piece, and you can put a shell on it or something. Maybe I have a shell in here that would work on it, but you can add to that train. I do not remember who I sold it to. I don't even know if you watch my videos, but if you do, this is a Lionel piece. Wow, this is neat. This is Unique Lines. This is kind of cool, and it's actually it's in good shape. Obviously, you know, you don't have any wheels to it, but it's just in very nice. It's not really. It's getting a little scratched up here on the top, but the litho on this thing is really nice. This piece, I saw this in the box and I thought it was kind of cool. So it's just an old train piece. I don't know if it was a wind-up. As the wheel went around, it hit a little spring that probably at one time rang this bell. But that's kind of a sharp little piece. We got another 654 Sunoco without any trucks on it. Tanker. There you go. I got a million of these Marks. Ooh, look at this. We got a Marks Clockwork wind-up. Missing the front end on it, but if that motor works, it's kind of free spinning here. Okay, that's because it was a neutral. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Didn't see that. Oh, now we're getting into, here's a motor. Who knows if it works or not, but it looks like everything is there. I'm almost tempted to go throw some power on it. I'm stepping out of here for just a half a second, just because I'm curious. Nope, that is a door nail. But this is a Marks motor. What other kind of goodies we got in here? There's a a Mark's tender. It's always interesting when there's a box in something and it's empty. But what was it? So this was shipped to the switch stand in St. Louis, and it was from MTH. I got enough boxes. Man, let's see. Here's a Pennsylvania. Just this shell for a caboose. Here's a passenger car. See, now this is another one like this other one that I showed you guys. These are in beautiful, beautiful condition. They don't look like they've been repainted. And like, look at how nice that label is on that. So there's a couple of pieces to that. What do we got here? Here's a 607 Pullman. And that's that green color. There's a nice big, perfect condition standard gauge wheel. That's for the for like the 200 series. Man, that thing's perfect condition. And we have, this looks like this might be a repainted. Yeah, this is a repainted. Yeah, this is a repainted Baby Ruth. What was that? 1679, I believe. Here's a. So this is a 2620. This is a Searchlight car. That's, I mean, you got perfect trucks on it with the pickup and everything. The coupler here is broken. It's a box couplers. But you know, if you need that. I think this is an old Hafner. No, this is an old Ives. Look at that. Kind of beat up, but you know, if you guys, a lot of this stuff you just can't get parts for anymore. Here's the shell of a Mark's transformer. Here we got American Flyer. No number on it, but it's a baggage car. Unique Lines. This is part of this, but this is the tender, but it's got no, I don't know if one of these chassis that I've pulled out of here. Oh, we got ourselves another. So I think, yep, this is, here again, I believe this is Mark's, but this is a battery operated set. So you put I can't remember, I think it's a D battery in there, and it's got a little tiny CAN motor in here. And then this is your on-off switch. Do I have a, hey, you know what? Look what I got. Well, it takes two of them, and I only have one. But it'd be so much fun if this thing worked. We'll have to try that out a little later. Okay, hey, cool. Look at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a nice little semaphore. Come on now, you can work. Whoop. Oh. There we go. So there's a semaphore. Come on, you just worked a second ago. Get back up there. There you go. Cool. That's nice. So I found, remember I showed you those really nice premium, perfect condition 200 series standard gauge wheels? We got 4 more of them right here. So that makes a total of 5. And who knows, there's probably some more in here. So here is a top to, and I saw this. So it's a top to one of these guys. Not that one, but it's a top to one of those that are missing there. There's one that's that particular color. What else we got? I'm having a blast here, guys. The original wasn't. Here's just a Lionel shell tank, just the shell part of it. We got a couple more tank cars here. These are both matching. Well, no, this is a 654 and this one's an 804. We got complete except for the rails on the side of this one. This guy's really old. This 804, and it's like I say, it's missing some rails and stuff like that on the side, and it's also missing the badge. Wheel number 6. Here's another Ives. Missing one set of wheels and a roof, but there is a matching one to this in here that I saw. This pile keeps on getting bigger and bigger. Here we got actually in really nice condition. This is a Marks. This guy's got the plastic wheels on it, but a Marks Union Pacific tender. There's an American Flyer number 1106 passenger car, and it's missing couplers, and obviously the roof. I'm just trying. Here's what's left of an E unit. Here's a 1680 Marks, or not Marks, but that's a long, you know. Here we got. Ooh, now these are nice. These are actually worth something. Oh man, this is kind of weird. These are different looking. So these are standard gauge wheels. There's 2 of them. But this one's really nice. Look at that, all nice, completely chrome. This one's an odd one. It's, I've never seen one like that before. This one's actually pretty nice. And then there's some other. There's the base to a, who knows, street light, lamppost, semaphore. Who knows on that? What else is in this little? There's a smokestack for something, maybe a general. Here is the real nice cow catcher, probably for a standard gauge would be my guess. I don't know what that piece is, so we'll put these guys back in this bag. Like I say, guys, you see anything in this stuff, it's like, hey, I need that. Ooh, are these what I think they are? No, they're not what I think they are. Maybe you guys can. So these are like the, they're plastic. These are the truck covers or whatever you want to call them. And there's 4 of them in here, and then there's this piece. But look at how thin that is. That even O gauge? Yeah, so it's O gauge. I'm just curious what this might be off of. That would hook to the shell. But if you see, it's kind of different setup here. So anybody know what that's for? Okay. Is there anything of any significance in here? There's another one of these nice big, all heavy duty metal cast iron or whatever that is, cow catcher. We have a lot of loose wheels in here. We have some more. My guess is all these pieces here were part of a body. So this is the type of roof that, like, what was it that I had? I think it was a 2632, but it's the roof where you squeeze the little pieces in to get it on and off, and that mechanism in there was working. It's got the spring still attached to it. We got another roof for a standard gauge. Got another set of trucks. So this was some type of a light setup, because you have a pickup on the bottom of here, and then there's a screw where the light bulb would go in there. I don't know what this was for, but if that was a passenger car or if that was just some kind of... this is a chassis for a passenger car. This is the front end of one of those standard gauge Oh, here we go. Wheel number 6. And what else? What else? What else? So there's some broken like E units in here that are all torn up. Wheel number 7. There's a lot of so I don't know if these are actual E units or if these are just different actuators. There's a lot of them in here. I don't know what those are. There's a bunch of loose pieces of trucks. Here's like I showed you that piece just a minute ago. So this is for the other side. This is a standard gauge, but there's a lot of these. It's the, you know, the plunger piece. There's a bunch of them. Those are probably no good anymore. And here's what's left of a, I wonder if this is a standard gauge motor, but there's an armature in here and everything. You can look and see it spinning in there. There's a gear still on this side. And yeah, so that's, yeah, I think that might be a standard gauge. There's another, like I showed you this one here. There's another one of these where it's got the pickups on it. So, I mean, just for the trucks alone, this stuff is good. Okay, and then the rest of the stuff in here, it's just all broke to hell. I mean, just to give you an example, I mean, there's like a ton of these. These are for standard gauge, but like, you know, the doors that go on the back of the cabs. There's a back end for an observation car. Okay, so that's about it with this stuff. All right. Anything else? Yeah, that's about does it with this stuff. There's some more wheels. There's some O gauge trucks. Yeah, so like on some of the pieces that I pulled out that didn't have their windows in them, like this one I happen to know goes to, well, we might be able to partially piece this guy together. So, because this window piece, which is in very nice condition, that goes in there on that one. So that's in very nice, actually in very good condition. And then this roof piece, which is in very nice condition also, I would be willing to say that is the roof piece for there. I wonder if there's anything, any other little pieces that go to this. Oh, here we go. Here's something fun. Very, very old crossing gate. Every time I look down in here, I see some other little fun thing. So these are all for the smaller size. These are probably for like the 2640s. But these are the inside windows with the bench. And aside from that, yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for this big old box of junk. But tell me what you guys think. This is probably for it's another roof, but this is a shorty roof. I know I'm 90% sure I have the piece that this roof goes in here. Okay, guys. Ugh, my hands are filthy. Okay, what do you think I paid for this? All of this wonderful mound of one man's trash is another man's treasure. $20. The tote is probably worth $20. Yeah, I couldn't go. It's one of these deals that it's like, I'm not passing this up. Absolutely not. I mean, look at all this stuff. It can't go wrong at $20. Like I say, almost everything in here. There's a few pieces that I've already seen that it's like, hey, I'm going to keep for myself. And but aside from that, if you need some parts for anything, if you saw anything in here, the easiest way you could do is mark on the video, like take a note of the exact point when I showed that particular piece or something. Or if you happen to live in the Chicago area, you're more than welcome to come over and dig through the bin. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this time. Um, Next show that I'm doing will be the first Sunday in January. Um, and I'm making arrangements for in the early spring to do a couple other shows. The Springfield show comes up, I believe, in March. I want to go down to that one. That's always a nice show. Lebanon, Indiana. I think I might do that show. I have to contact them to find out if they have space available for me. But aside from that, I definitely want to thank everybody that came out to the show today. It's kind of nice where people come by and, oh, totally forgot. T-shirts. I got a whole bunch of T-shirts back in stock. I got them all the way up to size 4X. In the 3X and 4X, they're only available. It's kind of a charcoal, like a darker gray color. But I do have plenty of, going from large up to 2X. I got plenty of those too. So if you're interested in a T-shirt, take a look into the show description. I do have the details on how you can order one, or you can always pick one up at one of the shows. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, choo-choo!